green.
The RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational is on the air. Sorry for this, folks, but we are running a little bit behind. Green flag just coming out. Tyler Graff showing the way here. Heat race number 2, actually, out right now, as it looks like Jay Anderson. Looks like Jay Anderson and Isaiah Dupree getting into it. So we're going to go to the replay on that one. You see Isaiah Dupree eating the wall and collecting Jay Anderson. Let's back that up and see what happened to Isaiah. Coming down the back straightaway here, you see the black and gold car as they haul off into turn number 3. Isaiah currently sitting second in this. Just gets high, gets into the, gets out of the rubber, gets into the loose stuff, and collects Jay Anderson. So, looks like Isaiah able to limp it back to pits. Jay able to limp it back to pits. So, first caution out. Pace car collecting the field. Tyler Graff underway. Again, you are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals, proudly brings you heat race number 2. It's the second heat race for some reason, but we're running it first. Don't ask. Thanks, iRacing. Live from the Milwaukee Mile. This is going to set the grid for the RobertsTechJobs.com Invitational, which will take place on Sunday. Tyler Graff, Tristan Anderson, Bob Lacavara, Alex Green, Isaiah Dupree, and Jay Anderson, the 6 cars for this heat race. Dupree and Anderson currently coming around to tag on to the tail end of the field. Not sure why Isaiah Dupree is running so slow. Jay Anderson trying to catch the tail end of the field, gets by him. Dupree picks up the pace. Lights are out on the pace car as field's starting to form up 2 by 2. Tyler Graff, Tristan Anderson, Alex Green, Bob Lacavara, Jay Anderson, no relation, and Isaiah Dupree. 25 laps, the scheduled distance on this one, as we are currently working lap 4 of 25. Tyler Graff currently, showing the way, going to bring us back to green as soon as the pace car ducks on off as they work their way through the 3-4 complex. Pace car. Now, if you've never been to the Milwaukee Mile, it is a very difficult pit road to get onto if you're not used to it. Would like to remind everybody, Tony Trapasso, welcome to the booth with you tonight, joined by Mr. Hoot Baker and Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett.
Yes, sir, Sam, and I'd like to say that after much difficulty, I'm in observing the race, and I'm right here with you.
Green flag.
As we watch,
I managed to get in as a spotter.
There we go. As Tyler Graff pulls the trigger, Tristan Anderson going with him. Here comes Lacavara. Now, mind you, this is going to set the outside row for Sunday's RobertsTechJobs.com Invitational. 200 laps here in the Pro Mazda at the Milwaukee Mile. iRacing version. Tyler Graff to the inside. Tristan Anderson to the high side. Anderson into the... That's Tyler Graff into the grass. Comes back out and collects his teammate. Good grief, Tyler.
It's actually caused by Alex Green.
Well, let's roll that beautiful beam footage and see what really did happen. As we watch Graff bomb it in there, catches, just gets it sideways, goes into the grass. And yes, Alex Green did turn Isaiah Dupree. With a teammate like that, you don't need a proctologist. Alex trying to avoid Tyler and Isaiah trying to avoid Tyler. And Alex Green right behind him just couldn't see past Isaiah's wing and just turned him.
I think a lot of what you got going on here is still just cold tires.
Absolutely, as we haven't really completed a full lap under green yet. Everybody's tires still ice cold, relatively speaking. That does hand the lead over to Tristan Anderson. Bob Lacavara currently sitting in second place. Tyler Graff able to rebound for third. Jay Anderson, Isaiah Dupree, and Alex Green getting an EOL for turning Isaiah. It looks like that's Green and Dupree going pit side.
He asked me not to give him an EOL, but I gave him one anyway, just to be a,
Pillock?
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he went across the grass and then took out his own teammates says enough.
Well, no, Tyler's the one that went across the grass. Alex was right behind Isaiah at the time and just couldn't see what was going on. So it was a damned if you do, damned if you do kind of moment. Currently 7 laps into this 25-lap sprint race. Tristan Anderson showing the way. Bob Lacavara currently sitting in second. It looks like the lights are getting ready to go out on the pace car.
Yeah, not to retrash that too much there, Tony, but yeah, Tyler definitely had some problems before Alex had some problems, but I think they're both due to cold tires.
Absolutely, and if you're not used to this car on cold tires, it's definitely interesting to experience for the first couple of times, and the fact that a lot of these drivers are not used to the line around the Milwaukee Mile, knowing that if you get more than 2 tires outside of the groove, if you will, you're basically driving on ice.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
So,
I mean, I proved that in the open race.
Yes, you did. Field formed up 2 by 2. Tristan Anderson, Bob Lacavara, Tyler Graff, Isaiah Dupree, Jay Anderson, Alex Green, your current running order. Now, remember, this will set the outside line. The finishing order of this will set the outside line for the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational this coming Sunday, 200 laps here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag comes out, and Tristan Anderson pulling the trigger. Bob Lacavara and Tyler Graff side by side. Graff with the inside. Here comes Dupree. Bob Lacavara fighting back on the high side, keeping it wound up. Good on you, Bob. Tristan Anderson still setting sail, though. 9 car lengths the difference between Tristan Anderson in first and Bob Lacavara in second. And Tyler Graff just loops it. Well, Tyler Graff, it was Isaiah Dupree and Alex Green. Let's take a look at what happened with Isaiah here. As you see him going into turn number 1, trying to stay off his teammate. That's Tyler Graff directly in front of him. Isaiah cuts it low, and Alex Green just nowhere to go again. It's almost like the teammates have magnets on their cars tonight.
Yeah, you're correct, and I called in on as Tyler, but yeah, that was Isaiah, and Alex, once again, the unfortunate victim there.
And Isaiah loops it again, trying to get it back to pit road. I'm thinking that car might be more damaged than he thinks. Loops it coming off of 4. Looks like he's just going to take it down pit side. Apparently getting it fixed. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Isaiah Dupree is going to get an EOL on that one. Solely because he went down a closed pit.
Yeah, and looking back on the replay there, Isaiah even had a spin around when he was pulling back out to recover.
Right.
Just not good.
Right. Now, for those of you just joining us and weren't here for the Open, what's going on right now is this is the first time this league has ever done open sets. And it's the first time the league has ever done open sets in the Pro Mazda at the Milwaukee Mile. We've never raced the Milwaukee Mile before. We've never done open sets before, and not everybody in this league has experience in the Pro Mazda. And for those of you who have never run the Pro Mazda, have you ever seen a hockey puck? Like the little disc that they slap around in the NHL? They're a very hard rubber, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that a hockey puck is a softer compound rubber than what are on the tires right now of these cars. It's very rare that you need to get a tire stop in a Pro Mazda car because the tires are just so hard. As the field starts to form back up, Tristan Anderson, Bob Lacavara, your front row. Tyler Graff, Jay Anderson, second row. Isaiah Dupree and Alex Green starting shotgun on the field. Working lap 12 of 25. We will be halfway on the backstretch of the next lap.
Yep, and just to reiterate what you said, Tony, all these drivers you're seeing right now are already in the Sunday race. What they're racing here now is for the position on this race, and this is one of 2 heats to get those positions.
Right. What we're watching right now is the outside line starting order.
Green, green, green.
As Tristan Anderson pulls the trigger, as soon as the pace car makes a twitch, Tyler Graff up in the second side-by-side with Bob Lacavara into turn 1. Jay Anderson looking low as well. Lacavara trying to keep it wound up on the high side. Gets a run off of 2, still side-by-side with Graff. Does not have the clear for second yet. Tristan Anderson 0.6 to the good right now. As Lacavara, and here comes Dupree as well. Dupree to the inside of of Bob Lacavara. Lacavara back to 4th. Dupree up into the wall.
There we go again. Oh my gosh.
That was Tyler Graff eating the turn 2 wall. Let's take a look and see what really did happen there. You see Graff on the high side, his teammate on the low side, diving under, and just, boom, goes the dynamite. And that is Isaiah Dupree's second caused caution. That's going to park him for the night. So Isaiah Dupree going to be starting 12th in the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational on Sunday. And
at this point, it's I'm not exactly sure why these guys are driving like this, because they're all good drivers, and it's just for position and everything, and I guess they're having fun.
Well, here's another thing that I just saw. Tristan Anderson looped it just before the caution came out.
Alex is in hysterics in his car right now.
Laughing?
Yeah.
Okay. So the lead of the race just got handed over to Bob Lacavara. Bob Lacavara, one of the series sponsors from Convergent Composites, currently leading the outside line qualifying heat, as we are right this second 10 to go. And Tyler Graff coming out of the pits now. Going to tag on to the tail end of the field, 1 lap down. So, Bob,
right now,
go ahead.
I was going to say, right now I'm sure Bob is very focused because, he wasn't allowed to participate in the Open earlier, so he's just kind of been waiting a couple hours,
Well, he wasn't allowed to participate in the Open. None of these drivers were allowed to participate in the Open simply because these are drivers that have won either a race or a championship. And, Sam, guess what we forgot to do?
What?
PM Cody and tell him that he's in the next heat.
I had a message off Cody saying he hasn't got the track yet, so he's going to wait till Sunday.
Okay, fair enough. None of these guys have won a race yet. All of these guys have either won a race or a championship in the ISL. Now, the one driver missing from tonight's lineup that has won a race is yours truly. I actually won the first ever points-paying race in the Indy Speedway League, and I have chosen to withdraw from the event so that I can be up in the broadcast booth.
And we do appreciate that there, Tony, but, it's, right here, it's, it's for a position. You're already in the race, and maybe you're going to be a little bit further back, but your participation up in the booth is greatly appreciated.
Well, I would like to point out, too, that we're only seeing 6 cars, now down to 5. There's somewhere in the neighborhood of 20-plus cars that were qualified to run in this event, or eligible, I should say. And anybody that did not show up tonight will be tagged on to the tail end of the field. As they're 3 wide going into turn number 1, Alex Green to the inside, Jay Anderson, the meat and the sandwich. Alex just a power move up into second right now. And that's Tristan Anderson hanging strong on the high side. as they go 3 wide again. Alex Green, the meat in the sandwich this time. Jay Anderson down on the very preferred line, down on that low side, the freshly repaved seam there, as Tristan Anderson gets into Bob Lacavara as they come across the stripe. Looks like no harm, no foul as they go into turn number 1. Anderson and Anderson fighting for second right now. No relation, I would like to point that out.
The battle of the Andersons out there.
As they're 3 wide for the lead. Bob Lacavara, the meat in the sandwich. Alex Green, nowhere to go, trying to get up in there. Jay Anderson with a nose out front right now. Tristan Anderson on the high side, going to take the lead on that lap. Oh, and Bob Lacavara gets turned. Let's go to the beautiful bean footage on that one, as you called it last night, Sam. You see Tristan Anderson on the high side. Bob Lacavara with the gold rims. Alex Green in the orange and black car.
Oh, my gosh. Beautiful bean footage. That's going back about 15 years. Like it.
And Alex Green just goes up into Lacavara, it looked like. Let's go to a chase cam and see. Let's go to a chase cam and see what happened here as we're following along with Bob Lacavara. You see Alex Green there on the low side. Watch the seam on the track as, Alex just came up into him. So that's the second caused caution for Alex Green. That's going to put him into the pits.
You know, Tony, I'm still just wondering, they have not got enough laps in here to even warm those tires up.
They don't really, especially under Green, no. As Bob Lacavara taking it pit side, it looks like Bob's going to lose a lap here. So that leaves the shootout for the outside front row between Tristan Anderson and Jay Anderson. So we are getting ready to have an Anderson on Anderson hate crime happen.
Well, at this point, you gotta wonder whether these guys, it's I know they're having fun and driving and everything, but tighten it up,
Well, when you're only going 25 laps and you know you've got to get it done quickly, I can understand wanting to make the moves. But what these drivers are forgetting is this is one of the bigger tracks these cars are ever going to see. This is a mile-long track.
I mean, we've already confirmed 2 spots on the grid now, seeing as Alex and Isaiah have parked it. But
yeah, so that's 12. Isaiah Dupree is going to start 12th. Alex Green is going to start 10th on Sunday. And unfortunately for Bob Lacavara, considering he just went a lap down, Bob is now going to be starting 8th.
So Bob's doing well tonight.
What was the reason? I have to go back and look at it. What was the reason Bob went in? He wasn't involved in anything.
Yeah, he did. He just got ran over by Alex.
He won a race in season 1 as well, I think.
Oh, so he got ran over by Alex. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he won a race. Bob won a race. Which qualified him for this past season's chase in, I believe it was the 05s. Don't quote me on that.
No, he won in the R05s in season 1.
That's what it was.
Yeah, which qualified him for the season 1 chase.
Mm-hmm. So 4 cars left on the on the lead lap, on the track. 3 cars left on the lead lap. Tristan Anderson showing the way. Jay Anderson sitting outside row number 1 when we get ready to go back to green. It's going to be a green and white, a 1-lap shootout when we get the green. If we get the green, let's put it that way. It should be just a 1-lap, Katie bar the door. If anybody survives this, I'm going to be shocked kind of race from here on out. As we are working lap 24 of 25, they are going to get the green and white at the same time. Tristan Anderson, Jay Anderson, and Tyler Graff on the lead lap. Now, for those of you who don't know what's going on, Tristan Anderson, the black car on the inside. Jay Anderson, the red, white, yellow, and black car on the outside. Tyler Graff starting shotgun. Bob Lacavara, and why is Alex Green back out of the pits? Okay. League owner, his playbox, or his sandbox, his rules. But Alex Green 2 laps down, so he's starting 10th. He's just getting seat time, I guess. But Tristan Anderson going to get the advantage here. He gets to decide when to pull the trigger. However, it's a very quick. There it is. The pace car is not even off, and the green flag comes out. Tristan Anderson getting a great jump on Jay Anderson. Bob Lockevar working the inside of Jay Anderson. 1 lap down. Tyler Graff just hanging on for third right now behind and eating the wall.
And there we go again.
So Tristan Anderson, unless the wheels fall off or he steps on his crank, going to start outside row number 1 for the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational, which will take place on Sunday, this coming Sunday. Broadcast scheduled to start at 8:20 Eastern Time. 200 laps here at the Milwaukee Mile in the Pro Mazda. Tristan Anderson outside front row, Jay Anderson outside row 2, Tyler Graff row 3, Bob Lockevar row 4, Alex Green row 5, and Isaiah Dupree row 6.
Do you want to quickly talk to Tristan before we move on?
We can do that.
Yeah.
So if you want to pull him down, if you can find him before I can, there he is. I got him.
User was moved to your channel.
Tristan Anderson, Tony, up in the booth. Do you have me, sir?
Yes, hello.
Congratulations on the win here tonight in heat race number 2, which is actually heat race number 1 because iRacing. You're going to be starting outside row number 1 in the RobertsTechJobs.com Invitational on Sunday. Tell us about your game plan. Were you guys actually able to get any heat in the tires tonight?
No, I'm pretty sure they're still cold right now, actually. They didn't really get much green flag laps in. But my game plan's really just to stay out of trouble on Sunday, and hopefully I can get a good finish.
Well, starting as far forward as you are, good luck with staying out of trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some pretty good luck.
But congratulations.
Judging by how that race went, I'm gonna say, yeah, just do your best to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have a teammate starting on my inside, and we can maybe work together and stay out of trouble.
True story.
Yeah, what we were seeing a lot there, Tristan, just up in the booth, was a lot of incidents going on the restarts when, like you said, we knew everybody was kind of still on cold tires. How were you able to avoid that?
Well, I was able to get a good jump off the restarts, and that was allowed me to kind of pedal it through the corner and take my own pace. I don't have to worry about running into anybody or doing any of that. So after turn 1, turn 2, I was able to pretty much go full throttle through 3 and 4, no problem. And after that, it was pretty good. Usually a caution after that, but.
So did you happen? You were in. I noticed that you were in the TeamSpeak channel with your teammates. Were you privy to any arguments during the dumpster fires that were taking place between the Team NLR drivers?
No, it was just mainly just making some jokes, stuff like that. There was really nothing too much going on.
And Tyler Graff joining us in the broadcast booth.
Tyler Graff joining us, and bear with me one moment here. Jay Anderson also joining us in the broadcast booth. Gentlemen, you were the only 3 drivers to finish on the lead lap. Going to be starting up towards the front of the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational on Sunday. Would you mind letting anybody know if let us be privy to any game plans that y'all have?
I'm taking an EOL.
Just turn left, go fast.
Well, Jay, that's something that you tend to do quite often in this league. Go fast, turn left, repeat as needed, and it's not uncommon to see you running up front most of the time in just about anything you strap into. You were able to stay out of the major dumpster fires tonight. Finishing second, so you're going to be starting outside row number 2 up towards the front. Are you worried about what's going to happen when the green flag drops for the 200 on Sunday?
No, not really. I'd rather be up there, and you know, we all should know that first lap or two with cold tires, you got to be real careful. If you keep that in mind, I think we'll be all right. But I'd rather be up there than be in the middle of the pack or in the back, because you just quadruple your chances of getting hurt back there.
Well,
Yes, sir. And I'm sorry there, Tony. I was just going to ask because we've been discussing the cold tires. How much is that going to factor into that very lengthy race? Because this one was very short, and you had to worry. You got the cold tires all the time. You're not going to have that come Sunday.
Right. After you know, 2 laps, and then you're fine. You can hammer down and go as hard as you can. It's just those first 2 laps are crucial. You have to keep that in mind, or you're not going to make it. But after 2 laps, you can hammer down.
For some reason in the draft, our cars just wouldn't warm up, and it was most likely the setup, obviously, and we just couldn't keep any heat in the tires, and it showed on the track. Obviously, we only ran practice laps tucked up under each other, not staggered and with wind and air going different directions, and yeah.
Well, now, Jay, I want to touch on something that you mentioned earlier about starting towards the middle of the pack. We just watched your teammate Gary Bauer qualify through the Elite Open. He's going to be starting roughly 15th, I think, 13th, somewhere around 13, 15, somewhere in that general vicinity. Do you have any suggestions for Gary for Sunday's event, considering that he's going to be starting right in the middle of where the dumpster fire should be starting?
Well, no. I mean, Gary really doesn't need any coaching. Let's face it. He's pretty darn good. He's aware of the tire situation, and I think he'll be fine. But you know, he's kind of like he's almost got a magnet with him. You know, if something happens, he's usually there. So I'm more worried about the people around him than I am Gary. Gary knows what's going on. He's just got to be careful.
No, I wasn't suggesting that it was going to be Gary causing the dumpster fire, but trying to avoid said dumpster fire for Gary. That's kind of where I was going with that.
And that's hard to do. It's hard to avoid other people's mishaps when you're going that speed. Sometimes you're the star for the ride. So he's just got to be careful. If a couple cars pass him, it's a long race. You can afford to drop back. If you got a good car, you'll make it back up. So I think that's going to be part of the game strategy is, just take it real cool, take care of yourself, watch other cars around you. Once your tires get warmed up, then you can pick and choose where you want to go.
Right, and just for the folks at home, I was doing some testing last night to try to help out some other drivers in the league, at least get a baseline setup for them. We're looking at roughly around 100 laps for a fuel stint, so we're looking roughly one fuel stop, depending on how many cautions we have. We're definitely looking one fuel stop because there's no way you're making 200 laps on one 50% fill in this car. And Tyler and Tristan, you guys can chime in on this one. Do you guys plan on taking any tires at all at that time?
When you got them hot, you got to keep them hot.
Yeah, it really depends on how they wear over the race, so it'll be kind of a decision we make on the spot as we're going to pit.
Yeah, if anything, what our Star Mazda strategies are normally, we like once in the race, halfway through, we'll do it just so we're not on the cords by the end. But I think right now with our setup, we have a little bit more to worry about than just that.
That's something you almost have to play by ear when you get into the race, because we've never run 100 laps, so it's testing. We've never been there before, so we're going to have to see what it's like after 50 laps. If it's getting pushy, if it's getting loose, whatever the case may be, then we're going to have to determine whether we're going to take tires. But I know everybody's going to take tires, so it's just
Well, here's the thing: it's not that we haven't done 100 laps; it's we're doing 200 laps, and you can only do 100 laps on a 50% fuel fill.
Right.
So
and that's what I'm saying is there becomes a point when the tires are hot, you want to stick with them, but you don't want to drive them down with the cords, and then you're going backwards. So it's something we're going to have to figure out as we go. But I'm sure everybody's going to take tires you know.
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but the next heat is about to go up.
Okay. You have been watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League, the Elite Invitational Outside Row Heat Race. RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in attempt to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest or looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know the ISL sent you. This broadcast was also brought to you by Terry Adams and Hanover Fist Racing, proudly sponsored by the Disabled American Veterans. Disabled American Veterans, an all-volunteer fleet of non-critical medical transport for America's veterans. For more information on how you can get involved, go to dav.org. This broadcast was also brought to you by David Llewellyn and the DHL Express, Mr. Bob Lacavara and Convergent Composites, Mr. Hoot Baker,
User left your channel.
Joe Morganti and the Lugnuts Hub, with promotional consideration paid for by Motorsports Graphic Designs. For all your in-sim graphical needs, you got something going through your mind, you want to see it on your race car, give Tyler Graff a call, Motorsports Graphic Designs. Tony Trapasso was up in the booth with you tonight, joined by Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett, Mr. Hoot Baker. Congratulations to Tristan Anderson on starting outside row number 2. We will see you folks in a few minutes for the inside row qualifying heat for the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational.